So let's see how to use Office 365 Outlook Actions in Power Automate Desktop. So Office 365 Outlook Actions in Power Automate Desktop is a new entry in the tool. Earlier we had the simple Outlook Actions, but now you can make use of Office 365 Actions, which is more easy to use. Okay, and these actions are like get emails version 3, get emails version 2. So I will show you both the versions, get emails version 3, 2, and how to download attachments also. Okay, how to get attachment in the mail. Okay, so get emails version 3 gets emails from a folder via Graph APIs. And please note that filtering related to these fields uh, like CC to from is performed using first 250 items in a given mail folder. Okay, so to avoid that limitation you can use search query field. Okay, so now let's go to the demo. Let's open the tool. Okay, and let's see the 1 second, let me just uh, yeah. So I have sorry, I have this action that is get emails version 3. Okay, and it is coming from this group of actions. Okay, so that is Office 365 Outlook actions, and this is a premium license action. Okay, so make sure you have the premium license enabled to use this. Okay, and then you scroll down. Okay, here you will have get emails version 3. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the one, get emails version 3. Okay, this action. Okay, so this operation gets emails from a folder via Graph APIs. Okay, and then we have get emails version 2, and then you have get emails, sorry, get attachment as well. Okay, so this action get attachment version 2. Okay, so these operations gets an email attachment by ID. Okay, so let's try to first get the emails. Okay, let me open this. Okay, so here I have selected the folder inbox. See, this is my to ID, this is my from ID. So I have sent a mail to myself. Okay, for testing purpose I given a subject line like new 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, I have given all these false. Okay, top 10. Then I have left all this as it is. Okay, so you need to make sure you are doing all this properly. Okay, okay, so sorry, so you have to do all this. Okay, okay, so now let's try to run it and see what is the output it is giving. So I'll put a breakpoint here. I will run from here. Okay, so it has run successfully and given me something. Okay, I had only one mail with this subject line, so that's why it had returned me only one row. Okay, so as you can see, this is a kind of a property and value, so JSON format. Okay, so this is the property and this is the value. You can search, you can get the value from the property. Okay, So in order to get the value, you need to pass the property name in your query. Okay. So this is the ID. This is unique ID of that mail. So this doesn't change even if you forward an email. This doesn't change. Okay. So this is a receive date time, has attachments. That is true. Yes, I have attachment in this. Then subject. Okay, this is my subject. Then importance. Then attachments. Yes, it has attachments. So it has given me some data about that also. So this has attachments. Okay. Okay, and this is the attachment name, and this is the content type, that is PDF. Okay, this is the size, this is a content byte. So you need to note that this will be blank. Okay, so you cannot just use this content byte from this and convert it to file. Okay, so here, so this one. Okay, sorry, yeah, this one. Okay, so as you can see, it has nested properties, right? So inside this first row, you have this attachments property. Okay, it is nested kind of. Okay, so let's go back one step back, then again to the main. Suppose you have more rows, right? You have uh, mails with the same subject line. Okay, then you will see like 0, 1, 2, and so on. Okay, you have multiple rows here, but since it is having only one row in my inbox, so one mail only in inbox, so I am getting 0. So it's like an array, it will start from 0. So if you are searching for the next mail, the same subject line, it will be 1. Okay, then you have to come to this property, want to select, then you have to give this property. Okay, here. Okay, you have to give this here. I will show you. Okay, how I have given. Okay, then you have to note this ID also. This is important. This will uniquely identify that message. Okay, so this is like a system generated ID which this tool uses to uniquely identify the message. Okay, so in order to reply back also, you can use this ID. Okay, okay, now let me close this one. Okay, so now my requirement is to get the attachment. Okay, from this mail. So this is attachment, right? But since I didn't get the content byte from there, I have to use it here. Okay, so this is how I get the message ID. You have to give this value, then you have to give the 0 index, and then that property name. Okay, this is the format you need to follow. And for attachments, this I showed you, this is a nested one, so this you have to give that this way. Okay, okay, so note it down. So this is the syntax. Make sure you have given the single quote. Okay, and this one. So suppose you don't know the I mean, you have many mails, right? So you can run through loop. Okay, and pass this loop index over here. Okay, so like you can loop from 0. You can have your counter start from 0. Okay, and then you can loop give that counter here. Okay, 0, and then here also. Since I have hard coded it, you need not do that same way. Okay, okay, now let's see. Now leave all this as unchanged. Okay, you can give some timeout also, like if you want to do not take it for eternity, right? So you can give some timeout like 10 seconds. You should return me or throw an error, or it should stop it. Okay, so this is how it is. And there is one more way you can use this get attachment. You can use get email. So here in this get email, there is a limitation, like you can only use the message ID. Okay, you have to pass the message ID, else it will not work. Okay, so message ID which you got it from uh, uh, other sources, you can pass it over here. So instead of using version 3 where it has, you have to provide so many things, you can just give a message ID here. Okay, then on mailbox address, include attachments and all these things. Okay, So it will also return you same properties as this version 3. Okay, almost same properties. Okay, then you can come over here in the same attachment and pass that version 2 response and all this ID over here. Okay, so there are two methods. You can use get emails version 3 to get the attachment, or get email version 2 to get the attachment. But for get email you need to have the message ID, and message ID you will only get it from version 3, or you can get from the send in an HTTP request also. Okay, once you get the content byte, okay, you have to convert that into a file. So you can, because that content byte is a base 64 encoded, so you have to give that content byte over here in the base 64 encoded text, which you get it from the version 3 response, sorry, version 2 response. And then you have to give the file path. So if suppose you want to create a new file, and you know the file type, right, that is PDF, you have to give that over here. Okay, okay, so let's run it. Let's see the content byte. Okay, let's see the both method. So now this is running. Now this one is running. Okay, it has started from here. It will go till here 15, and it will stop at 16. Okay, let's yeah, some issue happened. Maybe I stopped it in the middle. Yeah, so it has returned the attachment also. Now similar thing we are doing using get email version 2. Okay, this will also return the content byte. Okay, so content byte you will only get in get attachments. Okay, and then once you get the attachment you need to convert to a file. So that is a sorry, that content byte is a base 64 encoded, so you have to convert it into a file. Okay, you need to use this action, convert base 64 to file. Okay, so let's see whether it has given the content byte or not. Yes, see, it has written the content byte. Okay, the ID is the same. If you note it down, the first 3 4 letters, say ID is the same what we got in get email version 3. Okay, so if you see here, see, it is same. Okay, see, the ID is same as what you got in get attachment also, because the same ID we are passing, right, obviously. So yeah, and then you notice that here in get email version 3 response, though it has though it is saying that attachment is there, right, but content byte is empty. uh, Maybe it is by design that Microsoft is given like this way. The content byte is coming as blank. Okay, so to get the content byte you need to have get attachment v2. Okay, so content byte is nothing, this is just the file encoded, I mean the file which you there in the email, right, that is converted into a base 64 format. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is the file name, or this is attachment in that mail. Okay, and this is a file type, that is PDF. This is the size, I think it is in bytes only, and this is the content byte. It is very big actually. If you open, scroll down, it's quite big. Okay, so don't directly copy into get attachment, sorry, in convert base 64 to file. You copy this, you get this into a this, you pass this variable. Okay, so I will stop it. So here convert base 64 to file, I am passing the attachment v2 response dot content bytes. Okay, and I know that is a PDF, right, but you can also determine, you give some condition in your code that if application type is PDF, you need to give the extension as PDF and choose any file name. Okay, but the folder you have to give. Okay, and folder also you can put into variable and give, and then you give the file name. Okay, get the file name also. Okay, from there and give it accordingly. And if you want to like override or file already existing, you can give override. Okay, so note down this one. This is important, content bytes. Once you run this one, same file will be downloaded into your this folder. Okay, this folder. Okay, same file which is there in the email. Okay, so this is how you download emails attachments. Okay, and there is one more method. You can use HTTP request also to get the mails. Okay, so this is the format actually, and you will be wondering what is this. So this is the inbox ID actually. I got it from some other query, and this is the filter criteria. Okay, so this is one of the method to also fetch emails. Okay, so this also uses Graph API. Okay, so Microsoft has given us two options. One is using send an HTTP request, another is get emails. Sorry, yeah, get emails version 3. Okay, so this works a little different. Like you have to specify the method get. Okay, and for sending mails, you have to give post method. Okay, okay. So now you will be okay. I will show you from here like how do you get the inbox ID. Okay, so this is a query you have to pass to get the inbox ID. Okay, so this is the query, you please note it down. Okay, because this folder has that email, right? So you have to pass this. Okay, and leave all this as it is, like application slash station. Okay, and this advanced also nothing to do here. Okay, you will get a response once you get that ID from the for the inbox folder. You have to come here, since I have hard coded here, but you need to give that variable from that first action. Okay, pass this here, you follow this syntax. Okay, so here it should be your inbox ID which you got it from the previous one. Okay, and this is the filter criteria, like subject is new, contains new, or attachment is true or false. Accordingly you send a get request, you will get the same response which you got it in version 3 also. So accordingly you can use it to download your attachment from that mail. Okay, so these are two methods to use the to get emails. Okay, and there is one more method, that is invoke web services, which I showed in the previous video. Which there is for that you have to do some graph API registration. You need the client ID and client secret. So that is actually a raw method where you need so many parameters. Okay, but that is more customizable, but this is a little rigid because you have to just follow this approach only. Okay, send an HTTP request and get email. So there are two options, you can use this, and also to send an email you can use this action, send an email version 2. So this is very straightforward. Okay, so this is just you have to give like the recipient ID. Okay, subject, then body. Okay, and this connection reference is for your inbox, right? So this is my inbox sorry, mailbox user ID, and it will mail will be sent from here. Okay, so so this is actually a from mail ID. Okay, and this is will be your to mail ID. Okay, but suppose you want to customize your mail ID also, right? Send on behalf of, so you can use sorry, you can use the Graph API. Okay, to customize your send on behalf of. Okay, or you can use send an email from a shared mailbox also. So you need to explore more on it. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.